Hello, it's the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Red Dead Online summer update that's going to be coming soon. So, of course, there's the Bounty Hunter, the Trader, and the Collector, which, of course, we'll be going into more detail later on in the video. But to start off with the first paragraph, I only really found one thing interesting, was how the last update they say was the foundation of the game's future. So I don't know what that really means for a 2.26.19 update. I guess it was just a small little first update or something aside for the one that brought Red Dead Online to begin with. But anyways, on to the second paragraph. There was a couple things I found interesting in that one. I didn't really find too much in that one though. They mentioned that they call it specialist roles, so I guess that's the whole grouping that the way they're calling the bounty hunter, trader, and collector, if that makes sense. So that's pretty interesting. And of course there's unique paths of progression. And that is unique for each of the 3 different roles, so it definitely seems like there's a bunch of RPG elements that's going to be coming into this game. Whether it's just this update or maybe even future updates, I think later on they hint that there's more of these specialist roles coming out at some point. I'm not entirely too sure, but from what I remember from earlier, that's what I recall seeing. But of course that'll be for when I go in the video later on. However, I also found it pretty interesting. They say a world where players coexist in an uneasy place where they can band together or go alone. So that's pretty interesting to me, because I wonder if you'll be able to get progression done faster if you have people in your posse or something. I feel like the people in your posse can help you get progress towards your thing. That'd be a pretty fun cooperative way of how to do it, as long as it's not too overpowered and it's not entirely necessary to have people in a posse to really get much of anywhere with the system. And then I'm pretty sure it also said, and if not, then I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, that you can be a middleman, do the bounty hunter, trader, and collector all at once. But of course you unlock their respective unlocks lower and whatnot. So it's nice that you can be right in the middle, of course, with the 3 different roles, or you can focus on certain ones, of course, to get certain rewards faster. But onto the bounty hunter. So the first thing I found interesting with the description of the bounty hunter was how it mentioned how it's a life of constant action on both sides of the law. I'm not entirely too sure on that though, since isn't bounty hunters mainly a good role? That's something I really noticed with these first 3 roles, is that they're pretty much all good. Maybe it's because they don't really want to encourage griefing, but hopefully they come out with some roles on the other sides of things, because it's pretty disappointing so far in my opinion that there's no dedicated bad sinister role, for example. But at least it's a good start for this game, I feel, in terms of getting to the roleplay. I guess it might mean in terms of being able to kill the person or being able to let them live, of course. I believe that might be what it means by both sides of the law. I'm not entirely too sure though. And it sounds like you might need to get a license of some kind, so it kind of hints that there might be setups to becoming a bounty hunter, trader, and collector. I think especially with the collector, it hints that there's setups they have to do in order to get into the role, which I'm not too surprised, though I found it pretty interesting, of course. And then depending on how honorable you are, you can track down targets and capture or kill. So I guess you have to do one or the other to be on your honor, as far as I know, which seems pretty weird for bounty hunting, because even in GTA 5 you have the opportunity to let someone live or die, for example, for the mod bounties in GTA Online and the single player. So I'm not sure if it's kind of poor wording or if I'm not understanding it so well, but does seem like you might have to choose your decision based on your honor, or maybe capturing increases while killing decreases, something like that. I would imagine. It depends on how honorable you are, so I'll definitely be interested in how that works when the update comes out. And then a nearby player with a high enough bounty can also be a designated target. So it seems they're going to be expanding on the bounty system that's in place with the last update and the update before, maybe. I'm not too sure if it was if it started in the 226.19 update or if it was something just with the spring update. But that is definitely very interesting in my opinion. So depending on the person's bounty, if it's high enough, you'll actually be able to claim the bounty of another player, it sounds. That's definitely nice. It's finally want to bring a feature from GTA Online, being able to collect bounties. So good for Rockstar finally implementing that for this update. And then it will unlock special items, of course, like a reinforced lasso. So it definitely seems like we're getting a better lasso in this update. So that's interesting. I wonder if you'll be able to use it in addition to the normal lasso, or if your lasso gets upgraded and there's no way to go back or something. I think they should add it in addition to the current lasso in the game, just so you can go back and forth if you really want to for some reason. For extra tough targets as well. So I'm confused with the extra tough target part. It might be suggesting that you might only be able to use the reinforced lasso on these bounty hunting missions. Of course, that's another thing that will have to be seen when the update comes out. And then intricate gun spinning tricks. That definitely has me pretty interested. It might just be an animation though, for all I know, not something you can actually control or anything. Not too sure. And then there's also advanced tracking skills as well, like being able to use Eagle Eye when sprinting. That definitely seems like it's going to be very useful. Hopefully you can use it no matter how fast you go on horseback as well, if that's not already a thing. It also mentions galloping on horseback as well, which I'm very confused on that as well, because I thought horse galloping was already in single player. I'm sure for a fact it's in single player, where if you press X or A to how your horse gallops while you use it, it makes you have increased speed and whatnot. So if that's not in online right now, I guess it's apparently going to be added in the next update, where you can press the sprint button to the horse's gallop to make it go faster and not use as much stamina and whatnot. And of course there's many other skills, items, and upgrades. And then as for the trader, it sounds like you'll be starting it from the camp, and they specifically use the word business, so I definitely think this update would be very impressive if they can manage a very good business this early into the game, not even a year in its lifespan. Obviously they have a lot of experience with businesses from Grand Theft Auto Online, but doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do anywhere near as well as GTA Online. Of course, it'll have to be seen how well you can make money through the business of the trader. That would definitely be very good to see. I'm definitely very excited to see how profitable it can be. And then it seems you'll have to go to Cripps if I mentioned that. So looks like Cripps will finally have a big purpose, because I think he pretty much just stands around in the camp, if I recall. And then, yeah, you'll be collecting materials, so I'm not sure if you have to hunt in order to do the business, because it would be boring if they used an existing mechanic for the most part. I really do hope they make it unique and stuff, have really fun missions and stuff relating to certain predatorial animals and stuff like that, for example. That would be pretty cool. And then increasing your skill as a trader. So there definitely seems to be a trader skill, which kind of reminds me of some of the fun RPG statistics from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where if you lift weights and stuff, it increases your muscle over time and whatnot. So it definitely reminds me of that. And it will give you the ability to upgrade your camp with a weapons locker, so I guess that's the alternative to the gun locker in Grand Theft Auto Online. So I guess they're going to allow you to put certain weapons in a locker. Though I don't feel like it's as like necessary in this game, I'll be honest though, since your weaponry is limited unless you're pretty much on your horse anyways. So I'm not entirely too sure how useful that would be. But either way, they're adding a weapons locker. A stew pot as well, just like in the single player, the stew pot in the camp basically refills like your health or something in some capacity. Not sure if they would like nerf it though compared to single player, if it like completely heals your health or anything. And then you can even have a Canine Companion as a worm of attacks on the camp, which is interesting. So I'm guessing there's like a raid aspect with the business as well, similar to like biker businesses in the like CO business of Grand Theft Auto Online. So it's not just going to be a fun business, you're going to have to be careful of not getting raided as well, it seems. That definitely sucks, but I'm definitely not surprised at all, considering that's how it worked in Grand Theft Auto Online. I wonder if you get to choose more than like a dog. I wonder if you could have like a cat and maybe other like breeds as well. I'm not sure what would be like common like household pets in like the late 1890s, early 1900s, but hopefully it's not just limited to a dog. Though it's nice at all that there is like going to be a pet aspect in this game. That's definitely nice, considering of course there's animals in this, unlike Grand Theft Auto Online compared to the single player counterpart. And then of course, as the business expands, you gain new skills which will improve your satchel. So I'm guessing like increase capacity for the satchel. Basically they could probably add like all the variants of the satchel from like the single player. It'd be cool to finally have those in the online aspect. And then new assets to business like hunting wagons. So will we finally be able to own like wagons and stuff? Like it would be cool to be able to like haul them anywhere. It would definitely make transportation a lot more viable in my opinion, compared to just like straight up horses for the most part. Definitely hope they let us remotely call like wagons with the business. And it would be cool if you like unlock them all like for free. You don't even have to like buy them. Though it would be nice to have the option, I would think, as well, since I'm sure people would really want to be able to spend their money, for sure. Though I'm confused if you have to just unlock them and you basically get the stuff free, or if you're going to have to pay for it after unlocking. It could also introduce like buy it now prices to this game, so that's kind of worrying, I'll say, as well. And then you can also bring in bigger hauls as well. But now, onto the final one, the collector. Into the collector now, it does definitely sound like there's going to be setups for these 3 different roles. As I mentioned earlier, especially the collector really definitely makes it seem like it, with apparently I'm going to talk to a mystic traveling saleswoman to get started with this all, of course. And of course you search for lost jewelry, rare arrowheads, which I think is pretty interesting, because there is an arrowhead in the single player from what I remember, where you have like double the stamina or whatever when you have the bow equipped. So hopefully that returns, because that could be pretty useful for hunting purposes. Could definitely help with like traveling around on foot for hunting, that's for sure. And then lost jewelry, going back to that, there's like the emerald and whatnot in the single player, and they could have fun collectibles from like single player that you can collect. Maybe even like gold bars as well, like actual gold bars. It would be fun to have some of those to collect as well, and familiar single player locations too would be nice as well. And then other treasures as well that you can sell as individual pieces or highly valuable sets. So honestly, this kind of reminds me of like the CO business from like finance and felony, and how like you can sell like certain like different types of bundles in the like nightclub and whatnot. Yeah, in the nightclub you can sell bundles of like 3 different products of like a certain kind for like a bit of bonus money or something like that. So it kind of reminds me of that. Though, unlike the trader, that one definitely sounds like a business compared to the other ones. I'm not entirely sure if it's really technically a business, this collector one. Though, of course, that's something that we'll have to wait until the update comes out. Though it kind of sounds like you're just going to sell at like general stores and stuff, because it didn't really mention anything about a business. But it's interesting to know you can save them up for like sets. That's definitely interesting. And as you progress, you'll gain tools like the redefined binoculars. So just like the lasso, it seems like the binoculars will get an update or like an upgrade. A horse lantern, which hopefully it's not an easy target to where you'll be engulfed in flames pretty easily if someone shoots the horse lantern, if that's going to be possible, which I would imagine it is, because there is lanterns that engulf in flames, at least in the single player, I know for a fact. And then even a metal detector will be making its way into the game. And then there's skills relating to being able to find greater rarities for like items as well. That's interesting. And then as you grow in the roles, it will evolve your experience in the world, and then characters around you will be able to see how you progress. So other players will somehow be able to see how far you progress for each of the 3 roles that will be coming out. That'll be interesting to see how that works, whether it's like through the pause menu or somehow it's like much easier and you can like see it pretty seamlessly in the game. That'd be interesting. And as I mentioned earlier, you can do all 3 roles simultaneously. It was actually in this paragraph. And then you can choose to apply your trade. Apply your trade in just a single role to progress through a certain role faster if you're really looking into certain perks of a certain role. And then of course there's more to reveal within the weeks ahead for all 3 roles. So it definitely does not seem like it's coming out next week for this update. Probably within a couple to a few weeks. And for those who are interested, they technically have until September 20th to release it, since that's like the technical end of summer, like in a business perspective or something like that. Not entirely sure how that works. Then in addition to the roles in the next update, I guess they're talking about this one, not the one after it, will also deliver a variety of content improvements aimed at enhancing experiences in the world, whether it's in the roles themselves, the competitive modes, or simply exploring free roam. On to the last 3 paragraphs of the Rockstar Newswire, of course. Apparently they're going to make changes to the combat and movement controls, and then they're also apparently going to keep them natural as well. I sure hope so, and that they don't hopefully ruin the movement. I have faith they won't ruin it though, so that's good for sure. And then apparently there's going to also be additional damage reduction for defensive players. I don't entirely know why, because I'm pretty sure from what I watched on GTA Men, I believe the damage was pretty good from what I remember. The damage you can resist as defensive. Plus you can't lock on to a defensive player in any way, shape, or form, from what I recall. So I guess that's good. Maybe with explosives it wasn't so good or something. Maybe that's why. I'm not entirely sure. So for those who really like playing defensive, for some reason, if you like die a lot as defensive to other players, then that's good for you, I guess. And it will even remember the playing style that's preferred. So no more having to switch it every lobby, it seems. Definitely a great quality of life change. Definitely will be nice not to have to change it anymore. And then apparently there's going to be more lootable items in the world, like containers on wagons. So I guess basically stagecoach robberies are going to be making its way into the game. Not sure if it's technically like a random event or something. Just like the random events we got from the Spring 2019 update. So I guess they might be expanding the random events of the online, of course. And then the occasional gold tooth on an unfortunate soul. So I wonder how that would work. Maybe it would be a random event as well, or maybe like if there's a random person around like a town or something, they have a gold tooth, they might pop up as like some icon on the map or something, I don't know. That's pretty cool that you can get a gold tooth from like from a probable random person. Though it could just be a random event very easily, so unfortunately it might not be a very common thing, even though it kind of seems like it. And then the next update will feature the ability to reset the character, finally. I'm pretty curious though, if it's going to be a free change or if it's going to cost, like Grand Theft Auto Online's import and export update had the ability to change the character appearance whenever you want for 100k. Wonder if it's going to be something similar, where it costs a fair bit of money in Red Dead Online, maybe. Or of course, if Rockstar was cool, they would make it free. But I'm expecting it to be paid like in Grand Theft Auto Online. Especially when you have to pay for emotes in Red Dead Online, unlike GTA Online, so I would definitely expect to have to pay to change the character appearance. Though who knows, maybe it'll give one free change, who knows? Since they haven't really done that like they have for GTA Online before, where they give you the ability to change character appearances for free. And then there's going to be more details for the weeks to come or whatever, and then of course look for details on the event week, which by the way, I'm going to be on a vacation, so I'm not going to be able to do the Grand Theft Auto Online event week stream or the Red Dead Online event week stream for next week, so just know that you're not going to be seeing an upload for those two event weeks right on the day. I'll probably release one on Saturday and one on Sunday if I can. So yeah, just know I won't be able to do an event week stream for both event weeks for when they come out. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.